Mosasaurus, the most fearsome reptile that ever existed. The name Mosasaurus is partly derived from the Latin word Mosa, the Meuse River, and the second half of the name comes from the word sauros, which is Greek for lizard. Mosasaurs are considered the great marine reptiles that ruled the seas during the Cretaceous period. Although they are often referred to as the T-Rex of the seas, they were not dinosaurs but reptiles that returned to the sea during the Cretaceous period. Even though they are aquatic, these great beasts were still reptiles that breathed there. Once Mosasaurs returned to the seas in the Cretaceous, around 100 million years ago, they rapidly diversified. Numerous subfamilies, genera, and species quickly appeared on a near-global level, even Antarctica. Mosasaurus was discovered at a time before anyone had even discovered evolution or even dinosaurs. At the time it was discovered, it was assumed to have been a whale. It was then thought to have been an alligator. It wasn't until it was examined by Georges Cuvier and he discovered it was some sort of marine reptile that he came to the conclusion that extinct species lived on Earth at one time. A notion that went against prevailing religious thought at the time and was very controversial. The first time you looked at Mosasaurus pictures, you most likely got scared, which I can completely understand. This aquatic animal was indeed a fierce-looking creature. Some mosasaurs were as big as whales. The largest species were longer than all but the largest modern whales. The largest mosasaur species was probably Mosasaurus hoffmanni, which has reached lengths of 30 to 60 feet, 9.14 to 18.28 meters. Mosasaurs had snake-like bodies with large skulls and long snouts. The backbone consisted of more than 100 vertebrae. The structure of the skull was very similar to that of the modern monitor lizards, to which mosasaurs are related. The jaws bore many conical, slightly recurved teeth set in individual sockets. The jawbones are notable in that they were jointed near mid-length and connected in front by ligaments only. This arrangement enabled the animals not only to open the mouth by lowering the mandible, but also to extend the lower jaw sideways while feeding on large prey. Mosasaurs, like snakes, had two rows of teeth in their upper jaw, the main set and a smaller set toward the rear and center of their mouths. These extra teeth, called pterygoid teeth, are thought to help hold and swallow larger prey whole. While we can't know exactly what mosasaurs look like, we do know something about their coloration. Scientists in 2014 analyzed the remains of a mosasaur and found traces of the dark pigment eumelanin, which produces black or dark brown colors in skin. The researchers discovered that eumelanin was more concentrated on the animal's back than its belly, suggesting that it had an overall pattern similar to an orca or a great white shark, dark on the back, white underneath. This pattern is known as countershading and is actually very common in aquatic animals because it provides camouflage. Seen from above, the animal blends into the murky depths. Seen from below, it blends into the sunlit surface. The swimming style of a mosasaur could only be determined by the skeletal anatomy. Fortunately, in 2011, Johan Lindgren et al. Studied a well-preserved fossil mosasaur. Lindgren suggests that the mosasaur held the front of its body rigid and used the rear of its body and tail for propulsion. This makes for a very efficient swimming machine. This is also similar to how crocodiles swim. The mosasaur had a tail fluke like that of a shark. This means they were probably very fast swimmers. The mosasaur had a very powerful forelimb, allowing for powerful bursts of propulsion. Taking this all together, mosasaurs appear to be unique in that they use their tails and forelimbs for propulsion. They would have been very fast and maneuverable. Well, a mosasaur ate just about anything it wanted. However, paleontologists believe that its diet consisted of fish, shellfish, and squids. It wouldn't have eaten sharks though, like it was shown in Jurassic World. It was big, but it wasn't nearly that big. The movie exaggerated its size dramatically. Mosasaurs shared the ocean with sharks, which had already been around for hundreds of millions of years. No Cretaceous shark was as big as a Mosasaurus hoffmanni, but there would have been plenty of sharks to compete with the smaller Mosasaur species. Mosasaurs lived in the open ocean, where they could find prey suitable to their massive size. But a group of paleontologists discovered in 2012 that there were freshwater mosasaurs as well. They called the new species Pannoneosaurus inexpectatus, meaning the unexpected lizard from the ancient continent of Pannonia. Unexpected because the surrounding sediments proved it lived in fresh water, where no mosasaur had ever been found before. Although most reptiles lay eggs, at least some mosasaurs appear to have given birth to live young. Fossil predators are often found with small bones in their bellies, and usually scientists interpret those bones as the remains of a prey item. But in 2001, a team uncovered an exquisitely preserved mosasaur fossil with 4 embryos preserved in its belly. Live birth is uncommon in reptiles, but is often found in large aquatic predators, such as ichthyosaurus and today's anacondas. The remains of Mosasaurus were discovered in a mine in Holland in the late 18th century. It was Georges Cuvier who established that the fearsome Mosasaurus was a giant member of the family of marine reptiles known as Mosasaurs. The Mosasaurs themselves went extinct 65 million years ago, along with their dinosaur and pterosaur cousins, by which time they may already have been succumbing to competition from better adapted sharks. Tylosaurus, one of the deadliest hunters of its time. Tylosaurus is probably one of the most well-known mosasaurs due to the fact that it's a common centerpiece in many museums, and it's been featured in the Jurassic Park games, comics, and the new movie Jurassic World. Tylosaurus dwelled in an ancient body of water called the Western Interior Seaway, which once cut through what is now North America. The reptile propelled itself through the water with its powerful flat tail, and steered with its 4 paddle-like flippers. Tylosaurus proriga was one of the deadliest hunters of its time. It had a long snout and hinged jaws which gave it a fearsome bite. Its mouth was lined with rows of cone-shaped razor-sharp teeth. Tylosaurus snapped up fish, seabirds, and even other marine reptiles such as the over 10-foot, 3-meter Plesiosaurus. Given that this big beast was about the length of a school bus, it's no wonder it had a monster-sized appetite. Without warning, the prey is ripped out by a set of massive jaws belonging to a 45-foot-long marine reptile. The lizard-like beast gulps down its snack, then sinks back into the darkness to stalk more unsuspecting prey. If you would subscribe to my channel, and I also recommend you to hit the bell button so you'll receive notifications every time I upload a new video. Thank you very much.